Hello and very good morning to all of you. So today we will be discussing our current affairs section. The last previous year, previous week की current affairs कल करेंगे. So please start let me take 1 or 2 more minutes. Let the people join. If you have any queries till now, if you have any issues regarding current affairs or regarding your preparation of UPSC, then you may ask the questions. और हाँ, मैंने एक चीज और सोची है आप लोगों के लिए. How many of you are thinking to give current मतलब this year UPSC और UPPSC in fact कितने लोग हैं जो अभी कर रहे हैं? हाँ फ्रेंड्स, बायोस्फीयर की रिजल्ट लिस्ट मिल गया. थैंक यू सो मच मैन, थैंक यू. कितने लोग हैं जो अभी इसी बार लिखना चाह रहे हैं एग्जाम यूपीएससी 2020 में? ओके, प्रिंस वन. बस एक ही, ओनली वन पीपल विल राइट. दो. अरे जल्दी बताओ, मेरे पास आपके लिए एक लॉलीपॉप है बहुत अच्छा. I have something in my mind to go forward with this year of the exam. बस 2 लोग हैं क्या? और कोई लोग नहीं लिख रहे थे इस बार एग्जाम? Only 2 people are writing this year. पहले तो काफी सारे थे यार, मेरे बैच में तो जो गवर्नेंस वाला था उसमें तो काफी सारे लोग थे. कि मैं ये सोच रहा था कि अगर काफी सारे लोग देंगे इस बार, तो मैं सोच रहा था कि मैं आपकी लास्ट जून से प्रीलिम्स के स्पेसिफिक करंट अफेयर्स तैयार करा दूं इसी बैच में. चलो जैसे तो मैं ये सोच रहा था, बट अभी अगर 2 ही लोग हैं तो फिर उनके लिए ये जो करंट अफेयर्स का सेक्शन है वो थोड़ा सा छूट जाएगा. मैं सोच रहा था जून से, और ये जो अप्रैल अभी चल रहा है और मई तक का करंट अफेयर्स, मतलब जून 2020 से मई तक का करंट अफेयर्स मैं आपका इसी सेक्शन में तैयार करा दूंगा. और हम 20 to 30 मिनट्स तैयार करेंगे आपका ये सेक्शन प्रीवियस वीक वाला. तो बाकी जो 1 आवर है वो मैं स्टार्ट करता हूँ जून से. तो ताकि आपको इधर उधर कहीं पढ़ने की जरूरत ना पड़े, अपन यही पीडीएफ तैयार करें और पढ़ें. ठीक है, मैं डिफरेंट सोर्सेस से तैयार करूंगा ताकि आपको टेंशन ना हो. आप बस वो पढ़ लेना, क्लास ले लेना, और आपका प्रीलिम्स में अगर करंट अफेयर्स का कोई क्वेश्चन आएगा तो वो वहीं से आई कैन से कहीं ना कहीं वहीं से आएगा. अगर आपसे नहीं होगा तो फिर वो ये मान के चलना फिर वो किसी से नहीं होगा. दैट थिंग आई कैन अस्योर. बट ओनली 2 पीपल्स हैं, तो फिर तो बाकी सारे लोग तो फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर वाले हैं, तब कैसे होगा? What do you guys suggest? जल्दी बोलो. What do you guys suggest? क्या कर सकते हैं? Arinjay, you are not writing this year?
Sir, I will be appearing for prelims, but given that I've been accepted for MS abroad, so I might not be appearing for mains, sir.
Okay, so in which university you are going to?
Sir, University of Michigan and at Ann Arbor.
Okay, MS you.
And EC, sir.
Okay, कब से starting है आपका?
Sir, they're calling me from April last week. Sorry, August last week में बुला रहे हैं, and it starts on September 1st.
Okay.
So mains most probably September end में होगा. Maybe might get delayed.
13 से अभी तो यही है न्यूज़ की 13 से 13 September I guess.
But I'm planning to appear for prelims anyway. I want to see कि पहले attempt तो फिर how I'm coping with this. So later on after I pass out, possibly I might appear for mains also.
ओके, वो तो फिर कुछ नहीं, तब तक तो आपका अगर प्रीलिम्स हो जाता है फिर आप मेंस देने के लिए तो आ ही सकते हैं आराम से, कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
हाँ सर, let's see.
हाँ ओके, तो फिर कैसे किया जाए? ओनली 2 पीपल्स आर देयर, Subhra and Prince. Yes sir, we can do this. It will be help with those who are not appearing this year. ठीक है, तो ये मैं क्या मैं जो मेरी स्ट्रेटेजी रही है अभी तक पढ़ने की, जब भी मैंने अपेयर किया है, तो मेरी स्ट्रेटेजी ये रही है कि मैं ज्यादा ब्रेड्थ कवर करूं, क्योंकि प्रीलिम्स में उतनी डेप्थ में क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछे जाते। ठीक है, मेंस में डेप्थ में पूछे जाते हैं, बट प्रीलिम्स में उतनी डेप्थ में नहीं पूछे जाते। तो मैं 2 चीज कवर करता हूँ, अप टू ए सर्टेन डेप्थ और विद कवरिंग वाइड कवरेज ऑफ द ब्रेड्थ। उससे क्या होगा, आपके मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ टॉपिक्स कवर होंगे, तो तब क्या होगा कि मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ जब आपकी ब्रेड्थ होगी तो यू विल बी एबल टू एलिमिनेट सम ऑफ द ऑप्शंस। जब आप एलिमिनेशन कर पाते हैं तो अल्टीमेटली व्हाट इज द गोल इज टू रीच द राइट ऑप्शन, दैट इज आवर गोल। तो सर, आई एम a new student, I don't know Hindi, but will you speak? Okay, so I will try to explain each and everything in English, but sometimes the Hindi speaking people may found it difficult, so I will try to explain it in both. Fine, Veera, let's see where we will go up. Chalo. So let's move on. So what I was saying, that we have to cover the breadth for the prelims, not up to the depth. Too much depth is needed for the mains, but up to a certain depth it is fine for the prelims. So what I will do, I will be starting from June 2020, and I will be covering from the from June 2020 to probably April. Currently, I will be doing the April, up to the April, because we are starting from the April, then we will go towards the May, and up to the May last, probably up to the May last, we will be covering each and everything with regard to the current affairs, which can be asked in the exam of prelims 2020. Okay, Ujwala. So you are also taking the new class. Anyone else is also taking the new class? Please, mention me here. Okay, even I am new. Okay, very fine. I'm the new student. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And none of you is planning to appear in this year as well, I hope. So from today, I am taking the new plan. That is not an issue. Please, please make fix of your microphone if you have any issues, so that rather than typing, I always listen to the people and clear the doubts in the live process. Sir. Okay then. So what I will do in the first 30 minutes, this is my new strategy from the today's class. Otherwise, what we have done in the previous classes, I have, because it is the weekend class, so I have to cover full week, full this week current affairs in the 130 minutes. So what I will be doing from next week, I will be taking the initial 30 minutes for the weekdays current affairs, and the rest 1 hour, what I will be doing, I will be covering the current affairs from June 2020 to up to April 2020, so that the people who are planning to give exam this year, they will have a grip over the current affairs. Okay, so it will be great help to all of you, those who will be appearing this year as well, and those who are planning to appear the next year. Plus, it will be also helping some way or the other in understanding the syllabus, plus understanding the current issues with the current perspective. For example, if you see that there is issue currently going on between the China and USA, China and Iran and USA and Russia as well. You have seen that there is a issue going on in the Russia and between the Russia and the Ukraine. So you will be seeing that everything will be covering current affairs, not because it is a part of the international relations. So I will not go into that why Russia wants to annex Ukraine, but I will be giving the perspective that why things are happening. Plus, we'll be covering the geography as well. For example, where is the Ukraine location, what it has the relation with the Mediterranean Sea and all. So I'll be giving some brief history as well, so that the holistically आपका topic cover हो जाए. ठीक है, तो I find out that almost 4 to 5 people will be there who will be appearing this year. So I will be hope that the things which will be covering in the current affairs you will find in your exam as well. If anything which will come directly from the current affairs, I hope that you will find in your exam that things have been covered in your class. So don't worry about that. But what we need is you have to be more cautious during this 130 minutes, and please get revision. Revision is necessary. If you will not revise the things, then it will be difficult for you to move on. So सबसे बड़ी चीज जो है, the biggest thing, the biggest challenge here in the UPSC arena is nothing but the revision. More you will revise, more you will have the grip over the syllabus. The more you will have grip over the syllabus, more you will be able to recall, and then more you will be able to produce it during your exam. So the first and foremost thing is revision. So जो नए student हैं, those who are new students and joining the current affairs classes and the other classes as well. So first and foremost priority should be the revision. At least 1 to 2 hours revision होना ही चाहिए. It is a must. 1 to 2 hours revision. If you are reading 1 to 6 hours on a daily basis, then plus 2 hours revision, so that whatever you have covered in a day, in the evening, you have to wait or you have to revise it, so that things get settled in a systematic manner. Chalo, so let's move on with our syllabus or with the current affairs of the last week. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. The new people, if you have any doubt regarding anything, so you can ask me right now. Otherwise, I will move forward. Veera, Nikhil, please try to be more vocal in the class rather than type. Sorry, sir, we will start. I send you a doubt in the email. Could you clear it here? Okay, I'll be taking that doubt after this class. Fine. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on with our syllabus of the last week. So what happened? A disturbing order. This comes under the GS Part 1, GS Part 2, and this is the editorial of the Hindu. So we will make the notes from now. It is not actually needed. So all these documents which I am referring to, you will be finding somewhere on the Plutus IAS website. Plus, if this document you will not find anywhere on the Plutus website, this document I will be sending you through the proper channel. I think through the Saritama will send you that document. So what you need to do is take all these documents. If you find anything interesting and if you find anything that which you need to remember it for the longer term or which can be asked in the exam, so mark it here only, so that more revision will be there. So there is no need to make the notes. Okay. What you need to do is please be more attentive between the 1 to 130 minutes. Oh, sorry, no, 90 minutes. You have to be more cautious. Just understand the story, whatever I'm saying, and revise it after the day. Fine, so let's start the.
Excuse me, sir, I have one doubt.
Yes. Go
Sir, so if we have to write something, it is for our own understanding only, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
Perfect. So it disturbing order. If you have seen, this is the news of the Gyan Vapi Masjid. So there is a local court which said that, which ordered the Archaeological Survey of India, Delhi, that you have to dig this Gyan Vapi Masjid and find out what is there beneath this masjid. So there was a issue that local people has filed a case against this Gyan Vapi Masjid in the local court, that the Gyan Vapi Masjid stands on a temple and beneath this masjid there is a temple. So that local court ordered the ASI that you have to dig this, you have to find out the corrective measures, that is there a temple or not. So again, that some of the local people went to the High Court against the order of the local court, and High Court put up the stay on this order. So easily, that's why this news does not have any issue, does not have any ground to be asked in the exam. But because it was an article in the Hindu, that's why I have covered this. So what will happen? So basically, this is the skirmish between the two communities, one is Hindu and next is Muslim. So if you see, and one more thing, whenever you are, whenever you are discussing, or I am discussing any kind of news which is related to the communism, please try to see it from a neutral angle. You are neither a Hindu nor a Muslim or nor any any other creature, but what is you are a UPSC student, so you must be neutral to a news and try to find out all the facts of the news so that a informed decision can be made. So please be neutral. So if you see, there is a case of Ram Janmabhoomi, Ram Mandir case. So what was happened? This Ram Mandir case is not belongs to this case does not belongs to the after independence. This is the case which was there even before the independence. I mean pre-independence. But actual filing of the case taken place after the independence. So what was the case of Ram Mandir? That Ram Mandir, there was a Ram Mandir or Ram Lala Bhumi, on which there was a masjid, and this masjid was made by somewhere Babar. Who said? The people said that. This case went to the court, and the court decided that the Ram Janmabhoomi belongs to the Ram Mandir, so that the temple must be constructed. Plus, the people who were advocating that there should be a masjid, they will get a separate land by the government, so that they can make, either they can make a masjid over there or they can make a hospital as well. So that who said why Supreme Court said that there will be a mandir? Because Archaeological Survey of India said that yes, there are the ruins of the temple beneath the masjid, that the temple was earlier there, and temple was desecrated, and then the masjid was formed. Based on that scientific inquiry, Supreme Court took the decision about the Ram Mandir. Okay, so that was the Ram Mandir story. Now same story got repeated here. Local court told that ASI should dig out what is the things and should tell the court about the scientific fact of the mandir, if there is a mandir. So if you see in the larger context, so what happens? For example, you have your old home. You have your old home, and you have just shifted to a metropolitan city, and your old home is in that state. It is not in good state. So what you can do is, either you can restore it or you can sell it to someone. For example, you do not want to come your village, and you have sold this old home to a person which is from the different community. So what he will do, he will either restore it or try to demolish that old home, and will create a new home over the material of this old home. So one community's argument was that if you dig out each and every place in India, somewhere or the other, beneath every home and every temple or every masjid, you will find some old things. So based on that, we can say that nothing belongs to the temple, or more it belongs to your home as well. चलो समझ आया old home का. But issue is that one community gave the argument कि भाई अगर आपके पास old home होगा और आपने उसे बरी कर दिया, you have made a new home over it. So if you want to dig out the base of this new home somewhere after the 100 years, then you will find some kind of demolished item of that old home. So that old home which was sold by this person can new claim over this new home. So that was the one argument of one side. Second argument is that because it is not, the home is a private property, but a temple is not a private property. Temple is a community property. So temple's land cannot be sold to any individual or any private person. So temple's land was illegally occupied in the medieval era, and that illegally occupied, after this illegal occupation, some kind of new structure was made. दूसरी पार्टी का ये आर्ग्यूमेंट था. समझ आ रहा है? Those people who are speaking Hindi, they usually listen to the Hindi, but if I am speaking in the totally in English, then I hope that you do not have any problem. If you have any issues, you can tell me. I have to go with the bilingual, or we are fine. Or should I move on? Okay then. Okay, so that was this is the issue of the larger context. So what is our motto? Our motto is not only discussing the issue, but its after effect. So after effect is what is the repercussion of such kind of issues if they emerge frequently in the society? Opening up of the floodgate of many disputes. You are finding the Gyanvapi Masjid somewhere or the other. You will find that Mathura in the masjid in the Mathura. After that, you will find out the local masjid as well. The peoples are digging the local masjid. Sometime after, the people will be digging the temples as well. So what it will do, opening up of the floodgate, it may create the problems of harmony in the society, because somewhere or the other it will increase the distrust among the community. If increasing the distrust will hamper the society's harmony and the peace. We have seen during the COVID time as well, our society was totally polarized over the issue of that Tablighi Jamaat. And currently, we have seen that our society is also being polarized during this as well. Both things cannot be equated, yes. But thing is that we have to understand that Kumbh in the larger context should not be happening this year. Why? Because we have this pandemic thing. So what will happen in the larger context? Polarization of society. So this should not be there. Will create a distress among the people, yes. Will create an imbalance in the society. What is the polity angle in that? That there is a law, Place of Worship Act 1991, which says that all pending suits concerning the status of the place of worship will abate and none can be instituted. Yes, this said. This is the act which says. Any place of worship that was an archaeological site or an ancient monument or covered under the ancient monument archaeological site remains 1958 will remain a archaeological site. Means it says that if any ancient monument said that it is a monument or a place for the archaeological or under the archaeological preservation, this site cannot be dug out. Why? Because it is set in the ancient monument archaeological site preservation. The way forward क्या है? The issue must be dealt with the society, into the consideration. One thing I want to tell you: when you will be writing any kind of means conclusion, if this the issue is there with respect to the community or the communal polarization or communal distrust between the community or Hindu-Muslim का जो भी angle है, if you will find any question, then your way forward should be like that we have to evolve as a society. If you see in your family, you will be finding the issues between your families as well. Fine. You will be finding whether the family is of the 5%, 10%, or 15%. Even between the two people also, the issues are there. So that does not mean that we will, the issues must emerge as a fight. The society must evolve in such a way that such issues should be taken as a secondary position. What is the primary consideration of the society? Should be that removal of poverty, removal of malnutrition, removal of unemployment, the societal cohesion, societal peace, societal harmony. This should be the prime importance in the society. But what is happening over there in the society? All these things which should be the prime consideration are taken the back seat or the second of the importance. But first importance is there about the faith. So it means such issues should be dealt by the society itself. मतलब आज आप इतने जुडिशरी को न लेके so that कि सोसाइटी के जो क्वेश्चन है बना. Okay. So India does have the refugee problem. The issue is having threefold issue. If you have read the ancient India, so what you will find out that some historians said that our Indus Valley civilization was ruined by the Aryan invasion. Again, if you have seen that Mauryan Empire was ruined by the Hun invasion. So Aryan came here in India. They were not the refugees, but they were the attacker who came. Next came Huns. During the medieval era also, here comes the Mughals. And after that, you will find out that we have the Europeans. So this was the ancient, this was the medieval, or the Mughals / Muslims or / Persians, and here comes Europeans. After this, we have found out that the issues, if you see the picture in the larger context, around our boundary, we have several number of issues. We have the issues with China, we have issues, we have issues with Bangladesh, we have issues with the Pakistan, we have issues with the Nepal. Except Bhutan, we have issues with some way or the other with the countries neighboring our territory. So there was a since 1980s, there was a in Afghanistan there was an invasion of Soviet army. Soviet army invaded the Pakistan, and the peoples from the Soviet army invaded Afghanistan, and their local jihadis and these Taliban was supported by the USA. So because of the USA support, the Soviet or the Russian army got defeated. Now Russian army went, and because of that, the issue of Taliban emerged on the plate. So when Taliban got stronger, they killed their own people, and through that, the peoples of the Afghanistan came towards India as well through the through this J&K, because J&K is the only state which share the boundary with Afghanistan. That that Kashmir Valley region, which or the POK region, which is which is there. Okay, what do I need to repeat? Okay, I was saying that India have the issues with the neighboring countries which are having the territorial boundary with India. Example, China. Example, Afghanistan. Example, Pakistan. Example, Nepal. So I'm going one by one. I'm taking first Afghanistan. Though we do not have territorial issues with Afghanistan, but we have the issue of refugees from the Afghanistan. During the 1980s, Afghanistan was invaded by the Soviet Army. Soviet Army earlier, or I can say slash Russia, because before the Russia born, it was the Soviet Union, USSR, which we say. So USSR invaded the Afghanistan. USA prepared the local jihadis, which named as Taliban, and Taliban, with the support of USA, defeated the Russia or the USSR. Now Russia went out from this Afghanistan. After 1980s, Taliban emerged as the leader in the Afghanistan, and they killed their own people. Because of the killing of the own people and the persecution of minorities, these minority people, the Sikh people, the Christian people, the Hindu people, they came to India through the J&K. So why am I discussing the refugees? Look at this thing, refugees from Afghanistan. Now coming to the Myanmar. Myanmar's army. There is a state, Rakhine. Rakhine is a state in Myanmar. Myanmar army persecuted the Muslim people in the Rakhine state, and because of this political persecution and because of this political exodus, the Muslim people went out, or they fled from this Myanmar, and they came towards India, and they came towards Bangladesh as well. So Bangladesh do not have that capacity, but India said that because of the issue of the security, we will not let enter any kind of any Muslim person from the Myanmar, and quote unquote the Muslim people from the Myanmar got the term Rohingyas. So you have seen somewhere or the other the Rohingya issue in India. So Rohingya people from the Myanmar came to India. They entered into India illegally as well. So at that time also, the situation emerged, or there was the intellectual people, bifurcated into the two parts. One part says that India let enter the refugee people so that their life can be saved. But one of the group of the intellectuals said that because it is the problem of the Muslim community, we have already bifurcated India into we have already gave them the parts of India, so they should go to those parts, because ultimately India do not have that kind of resources. If we let the people enter into the India and we will providing them employment, housing, and livelihood, so we do not have resources. So India should focus on its own citizens rather than taking the refugees from outside. That was one of the issues. So currently we are dealing these two issues as well. So with respect to Afghanistan, we have taken the CA, Constitutional Amendment Act, which were in the news the last year. If you have seen that there was too much protest. So in CA, what we did, we ease out the restrictions so that the peoples who came from the Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh to get the citizenship of India. That was the one issue. What we did with respect to Rohingyas, we completely restricted the entry of Rohingyas into India. Now, fine. Indian Prime Minister went there in the Myanmar, and he did not give a heed to that to that global issue. Though India was also being criticized by the Western countries. Chalo, this issue got you got clear this issue कि क्या चल क्या रहा है, but larger context में. Are you understanding the issue in the larger context? And the other people, those who are new, are you getting? अरे yes no बोलना है क्लास में. Please try to say yes or no. कि सर मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ आ रहा है. I'm not getting anything whatever you are saying. Everything is bouncer to me. Rishika Vajavat, you are not getting anything. It is very very hard to listen. Okay. Okay. So most of the people are getting what I'm saying. Okay. So that was the true story. Now, currently, what is going on in the Myanmar? There is a coup by Myanmar's military. They detain all political parties leaders, and virtually they are holding all kind of administration in Myanmar. Myanmarese people are protesting against the army that give us our democratic rights. Myanmarese army is suppressing the people. They are even doing excesses over the people. Now earlier, the people of Rohingyas coming, the people of Muslim community was coming to India. Now the situation got larger in the context. Now each and every Myanmarese people who are supporter of democracy, they wants to flood from the Myanmar. Let me go one step backward. Who gave this much strength to the army? You know what was happening? Myanmar is a country which closely holds two religions. One is Buddhism and second is this Muslim religion. So Buddhism is they are in the majority and the Muslim people are in the minority. I think I'm getting my voice back. Nikhil, please unmute your mic because I'm getting my voice. And Nikhil, yes, because I do not want to listen my voice. My voice is not that sweet, so I don't want to listen my voice. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. No issues. So what I was saying, that who gave that strength to the military? Their own people. Because when military was doing excesses over the Rohingya Muslims, no person from the Buddhist community spoke against the army. So army got the strength. When army got the strength, now they got strength in such a way that now they are doing same kind of excesses on the Buddhist people. Same thing was done in the French Revolution. Same thing was done by Napoleon. And same thing was done by Hitler as well. Same thing is going in the Myanmar. And somewhere or the other, but with a less, on a lesser strength, same kind of things is going in India as well. With the less intensity, if I say yes. So this is the bigger issue, which I've said that India does have a refugee problem. In the larger context, I have also told. So if I talk about the international arena, what international communities are facing, because I'm thinking that this year you will be getting one question over the refugee in your GS part 2, because recently there was attack in the Scandinavian countries and there in the Europe, who was the people who got involved in those attacks? They were the people from they were the refugees who came from the Middle East, Syria and all. Fine, चलो ये समझ आया. दूसरा क्या है, इंटरनेशनल एरिना में समझते हैं that what UN holds. So there is a UN convention on Refugees. UN Convention on Refugees. Okay. Second is we have a New York Protocol. New York Protocol. ये सब यहाँ लिखा नहीं हुआ है, but मैंने आपको बस बता रहा हूँ. New York Protocol. India do not endorse any kind of things. India neither signed this UN Convention nor ratified it, because India says that the refugee issue or the definition of refugee is in the shorter context, and we do not, we do not agree with that compact definition. We want a broader definition. So that's why India did not ratify. So it means India do not have any kind of international obligation or international pressure that India should allow the people to enter into India, because the countries who ratified this convention, they are under the international obligation that the people who are refugees coming toward the territory of those countries which ratified this convention has to take them. So India do not have that obligation. What India has actually, we have the Foreigner Act to 1946, which it categorizes two categories of the people. One is illegal immigrant, next is refugees. So actually this category also have ambiguity. This category does not actually define who is refugee and who is illegal immigrant. For the illegal immigrant, they have a clear-cut definition. A person who enter illegally into the Indian territory, the person who entered into the territory illegally means they do not have valid document, will be considered as the illegal immigrant. But this act is certainly shut its mouth on the refugees. So it means we do not have any kind of legal framework which can tackle this refugee issue. Domestically, politicization of the refugee protection. We have seen that Mamata Banerjee, who was there in the Bangladesh, I think the last year, she said that we will let the Rohingya people enter into the Bengal. So somewhere or the other, she was criticizing the central government, and she was flouting the central government's role. So, but she was not able to do, because we have Article 355 in our place, and we have Article 365 in our place as well. 365 says that Article 365 says that state government has to abide by the direction of central government. If state government flout the central government direction, then central government is free to take action against the state government. Means central government can impose Article 356, which is nothing but the presidential rule. Presidential rule means, what is the presidential rule? State emergency बोलते हैं उसको. So Council of Ministers will be dissolved. Council of Ministers of the state will be dissolved. Plus, state legislature may be suspended or may be dissolved. May be suspended, may be dissolved. State legislature does not dissolve in the first go. It depends on the circumstances. But yes, it is suspended. But the Council of Ministers dissolved, मतलब Council of Ministers नहीं होती. ठीक है, तो ये आप एक बार पढ़ लेना. Article 355 क्या बोलता है, 365, 356. It is important. यहीं से हर बार एक दो क्वेश्चन पूछ लेते हैं. 2018 में डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन था Article 356. What is the way forward? We must have the new domestic law, so that which can tackle this refugee problem holistically. Now, World Economic Outlook. World Economic Outlook. What is the context? International Monetary Fund in April 2021 projected 12.5% growth rate for India in the year of 2021. So growth rate. What is the growth rate? Growth rate is the Growth rate is the rate on which economy is growing with respect to the previous year. For example, how RBI or the other other organizations see the growth rate. For example, 1 year is being divided into the 4 quarters, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 4 quarters, and let's say Indian economy has produced 100 rupees goods during this 3rd quarter, and let's say in the 2020 and in 2021, according to this International Monetary Fund 2021, Indian economy will produce the goods and services